In the fading light of a Cretaceous sunset, when the air hangs thick with heat and the distant rumble of storms rolls across the horizon, a shadow parts the tall cycads. It moves with a weight that makes the earth itself seem to tense. Before anything else, before the glint of scales or the rise of breath, the land feels the presence of its undisputed monarch. Tyrannosaurus rex, nearly 13 meters of killing genius, steps from the tree line like a living thunderclap. Dust drifts around its feet. Insects scatter. The world holds itself still. Its skull, a massive fortress of bone nearly as long as a grown human is tall, swings slowly from side to side, tasting the air with senses honed through millions of years of evolution. Each exhale rolls out of its cavernous throat in long, heavy clouds. The scent of decaying vegetation, warm mud, and distant prey hangs faintly on the wind. But something more tantalizing lingers there too. Iron, musk, a hint of blood. The tyrant lizard king begins to walk. With every step, its muscles ripple beneath a body shaped by natural selection into a near-perfect apex predator. Its feet land softly for an animal that weighs more than 7 tons, adapted to absorb impact and move with surprising stealth. Though often imagined as a frenzied brute, the reality is more intricate. This is a thinker, a strategist. With a brain proportionally larger than many of the giants around it, Tyrannosaurus rex carries within it a remarkable processing engine capable of tracking movement, calculating distance, and reading opportunity in the world around it. The forest parts before it as it descends into an open floodplain, rich with ferns and life. Herds of triceratops browse along the edges of marsh water pools, their frills glimmering in the dying sun. Juvenile Edmontosaurus huddle beneath the watchful gaze of adults, their calls echoing softly across the plain. But none of them dare to look directly toward the monarch entering their world, for evolution has taught them well. When the tyrant rises to hunt, silence becomes survival. A low growl vibrates through the air, too deep for smaller creatures to hear, but enough to send a shiver through anything larger than a small tree. It is not a challenge, it is focus. T-Rex narrows its attention on a single target, a weakened triceratops lingering at the edge of its herd, nursing a hidden injury beneath its stomach plates. The herbivore flicks its tail in irritation it flies, unaware of the gaze now locked upon it. Across the open field, the great predator lowers its head slightly and begins to circle, steps controlled, deliberate. Despite its bulk, it moves with an eerie grace. New studies suggest it could burst forward at surprising speeds for short distances, using momentum like a falling boulder. But speed is not its only weapon. Its true arsenal lies within its skull, teeth shaped like serrated railroad spikes, a bite force powerful enough to crush bone into splinters, and forward-facing eyes capable of depth perception unmatched in its ecosystem. It knows exactly how far, exactly how fast, exactly how vulnerable its prey is. The injured triceratops senses something, maybe a shift in the air, maybe the subtle tremor beneath its feet. It lifts its massive head, horns gleaming like polished spears, and grunts a warning toward the herd. Mothers shuffle younglings away, males position themselves defensively, but the tyrant is patient. It does not want to battle with the whole phalanx of horns. It wants the one that cannot keep pace. Dark clouds gather overhead, staining the sky purple and red. Thunder crackles in the distance. As the first raindrops fall, the predator advances. The triceratops limps backward, muscles trembling, desperately preparing to stand its ground. Though injured, it is no easy target. A single well-placed horn thrust could split a predator's ribs. But Tyrannosaurus rex has evolved to face exactly this kind of danger. It angles to the side, avoiding the arc of the horns, pacing back and forth like a seasoned boxer analyzing an opponent. Its eyes, large, forward set, almost hawk-like, never leave the weak point beneath the frill. The storm intensifies. Lightning fractures the sky. Then everything erupts. With a roar that drowns the thunder, the tyrant charges. Mud explodes beneath its feet as it barrels forward with unstoppable momentum. The triceratops swings its head, horns slicing through the air with lethal force. The predator twists, powerful tail counterbalancing its turn. It lunges, jaws opening wide. The impact is monstrous. Teeth sink into the herbivore's flank, pressure crushing through muscle and bone. The Triceratops bellows and stabs upward, nearly catching the predator's jaw. But the tyrant wrenches sideways with terrifying power. Bones crack, the earth shakes. The two giants struggle in a violent dance as rain lashes down around them, turning the ground into a churning pool of mud and blood. Moments stretch like hours. At last, the Triceratops collapses, breath shaking, strength gone. The predator holds firm, securing its prize. As the storm rolls across the plain, the king of the Cretaceous stands over its hard-won meal. This is not cruelty. This is survival written in the language of evolution itself. Later, when the clouds part and moonlight drapes across the landscape, other creatures begin to gather. Smaller theropods approach cautiously, waiting for scraps. Primitive mammals scurry between the ferns, snatching fragments left behind. Even insects swarm to the scent of the kill. In death, the herbivore becomes the beating heart of an entire micro-ecosystem, each piece of flesh, bone, and sinew fueling the cycle of life that binds this ancient world together. Tyrannosaurus rex steps back, letting others feed on what it no longer needs. Its hunger sated, it moves toward a cluster of trees and rests beneath their shelter. Each slow breath rises and falls, mist glowing faintly in the moonlight. Despite its ferocity, this creature must conserve energy, recover strength, and guard its territory from rivals. Because somewhere out there, another T-Rex may also be listening, searching, challenging. And those challenges shape this land as surely as storms. In the following days, the tyrant patrols its domain, marking boundaries with deep, resonant calls. Its senses detect every vibration through the ground, every scent carried on the breeze. For all its might, it lives a life perpetually on alert. This world is a tapestry of threats, shifting climates, volcanic tremors, competition from other theropods, and the constant gamble of the hunt. Even the king is bound to the rules of nature. As the sun rises over the steaming swamps one morning, a distant echo reaches its ears, a low, rhythmic pattern, unmistakable. Another tyrannosaur, a rival, perhaps younger, stronger, ambitious. The monarch lifts its head, pupils narrowing. Scarred skin tightens over powerful muscles. The air becomes still. The call rises again. Some confrontations end in posturing. Others end in blood. The tyrant begins walking toward the sound, each step heavy with authority. It will not surrender its territory, its hunting grounds, or its legacy. In this world, survival is not merely a task. It is a declaration written across every other scar and every victory. Yet even as conflict approaches, the land around them evolves. Flowers spread across the fields. Insects diversify. Mammals experiment with new niches. The Cretaceous world is vibrant, dynamic, pushing forward with unstoppable force. Tyrannosaurus rex stands at the apex of this moment in time, a living monument to power and precision, but also a fleeting chapter in the larger story of life on Earth. And someday, far beyond its knowing, the world will shift. Seas will rise, asteroids will burn through the sky, the age of giants will end. But the memory of the tyrant lizard king, the weight of its footsteps, the force of its bite, the dominance it carved into the fabric of its era, will echo for millions of years, preserved in stone, studied by distant descendants who will never feel the tremor of its roar, but will dream of the world it once ruled. For now, though, in this moment, beneath the warm breath of a Cretaceous dawn, Tyrannosaurus rex strides across its kingdom, every motion a symphony of raw power and ancient grace. It is the last light of a world soon to fade, yet in its presence the land still trembles with the timeless truth of evolution's greatest predator.